What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Tea with Tina podcast. We are talking about why you need to stop exercising. Okay, this is kind of like a clickbait title, but not really, and you'll see why. I'm at the final stretch of me back recording my podcast episodes, and my allergies have been awful, super awful. So bear with me because I feel like a slug. Okay, so we're gonna do our best here. Okay, so why you need to stop exercising. Before we jump into that, I did want to give you like a little just update on some things that I'm still reading and some things I'm excited to watch super quick. So I'm still reading A Happy Place. I'm going at a turtle's pace, but the book is really, really good. I don't know why I'm reading it so slow. I try to read a lot. I don't know if it's like a big book because like I'm on Kindle, so it's hard to tell. But it says I have like 3 hours, well no, under 2 hours left. I'm like 60% done with the book, so we're getting there. Like I said, it's a really, really good book. It's a good romance novel, and I just love it. Love it, but I'm just being a snail about it. I think it's the only book I've read in May. Okay, so that's what I'm reading. As far as shows coming out, there are 3 big things I'm excited about. So I believe in June or July, Futurama is coming back on Hulu. Freaking love Futurama. It is a very, very good show. If you're into adult animation, the story is just really good too. Definitely check that out. Witcher season 3, I think that's also coming out in the summer at some point. That will be the only part I'm watching up to because Henry Cavill will be no longer joining us, and it's not his fault. But I will be stopping at season 3. Also a good vibe. And this is actually coming soon, the Arnold documentary, Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's a documentary on his life, so I would be interested to see that because I'm always fascinated by Arnold with his bodybuilding and his career in general. He's just an interesting guy. So I want to check out that documentary. That'll be on Netflix. So those are things I'm excited to be watching. I really gotta watch like the new Yellowstone. It's not new, but the modern day Yellowstone, because I kind of watched it reverse. I started at 1883 and worked my way up. I know there's going to be another season of 1923, but I think it's going to take forever because of the writer's strike, so yay. Okay, but anyways, that's my little update. With stopping exercise, let's chat about this. What I mean by that is we need to change this mindset shift, and I think it will benefit most of us, especially the lifestyle people. You want to shift the thought of exercising to movement, okay? Once you make that shift from exercise to movement, you are going to be able to get so much more done, okay? And what I mean by this is when we think of exercising, what do you think of? Okay, take a second to think as I take a sip from my Stanley, a little water break. Take a second to think, what do you think of when you think of exercise? Okay, so, well, I'll tell you what I think of. When I think of exercise, I think of being in the gym. I think of like running, being on cardio, lifting a barbell, lifting weights, like kind of like those videos that they show zooming in on somebody and they're, doing some bicep curls and they're sweating. Like that's what I think of with exercising, right? Maybe you thought of something similar, maybe something different. But I think that's what stops us from doing it sometimes, because then when we think of exercise and we feel like shit, we're like, I gotta perform, like I gotta be like that person. Whatever your image is, you have to do that, and you're not in the mood to do that. But when we shift it to movement suddenly broadens the spectrum, right? Which is the key to fitness, broadening the spectrum. I thought I heard a bee. I'm sorry. Oh my god, is there a bee? No, it's a car. I was freaking out. Anyway, with movement, you broaden that spectrum and it turns into movement. So anything can be movement, right? It could be walking outside. It can be gardening. It can be cleaning. It could be a yoga class. It could be a 5-minute YouTube stretch video. It could be a wall sit, 20 squats, like movement. We need to reframe it to movement, because then you'll be okay. You'll be like, wow, I got my movement in for today, not, oh, I got my exercise in for the day, okay? And I think that's going to be a big mindset shift. And the reason I wanted to shift to this is because ever since I had my injury, and it's really restricted what I could do, and it's really restricted the ability for me to do what my envisionment of exercise looks like. I've shifted it to movement because I'm actually moving more now. Like, I did a 4-mile walk yesterday outside, and I wasn't no Olympic athlete, and I wasn't hitting a PR, and I wasn't sweating, but I did a 4-mile walk in nature, and that was fantastic for my body and my mind and everything. So that's good. And I'm kind of thankful for my injury in that way, and even going to physical therapy and doing more yoga. I'm doing exercise, but it's considered movement in my brain in different ways than what I normally would ever do. And even with when I was diagnosed with my autoimmune disorders like PCOS and Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, with that there's flare-ups. Flare-ups can happen for no reason. Flare-ups can happen because you're in a stressful point of your life. Flare-ups can happen because you kind of slack a little bit, like maybe you're on vacation, you drink alcohol, you eat like garbage. Not always, but flare-ups can just happen. And when you have a flare-up, you literally just feel like shit and everything hurts for no reason. And it makes it challenging. So for somebody like that, and you can have a flare up in life. Like, let's say you're going through a harder time of life and a loved one's sick, or you're just super busy and you literally have no time to yourself, and you're like, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to fit my workout routine in, right? Instead of completely giving up, maybe while you're at the soccer game for your son, you're walking around the bleachers, or maybe you're doing stairs on the bleachers, or you look up meal prep ideas while you're waiting on the bleachers, or you do a little breath work, stretching, anything. And we shift it from movement to a full-blown workout. Like, instead of doing that full-blown workout, because that's what translates as exercise in our head, if we do movement, that makes it so much broader, right? But the flare-ups also made it really challenging, and I always thought I had to do X, Y, and Z to be considered healthy, to be considered a fitness trainer. And that has really evolved and changed. And I think that's also a part of getting older, because when we're younger, we could do anything, right? Like, you're Gumby, you could do whatever you want, and you really have no responsibility. But once you become an adult and you have more responsibility, you have to, manage your time a little bit better and wonder, like, what can I do here to remain healthy, but also allow time for my hobbies, for my career, for family, my responsibilities that I need to do, the stupid adulting stuff like going to the DMV, like, just dumb shit. You have to kind of manage that stuff as you get older, which sucks, right? But it's just a necessary evil. There's some empowerment in being an adult too. Like, you can eat pizza whenever you want. Probably not the best choice, but you can. But yeah, I really think we do need to make this transition. And if you're listening, you need to make this transition. Yeah. God, this is short, right? I had my notes written out. I'm sorry if this sounds so informal, but you know what? That's the theme of my podcast, is to be informal. But I really just wanted to share this idea with you. So this will be a little bit of a shorter podcast episode today. Anyway, yes, so let's stop exercising and let's start moving, right? Stop exercising, start moving. Let's think of it as a broader term. How are you gonna move? If you're on YouTube watching, drop a comment below. Let me know how you're gonna be moving today. I'd appreciate it. And if you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel for more fun content like this, so you never miss a Tea with Tina episode again. If you are on the podcast, like listening through Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever, leave a review for me. You can send me a message over on Instagram at theteawithtina.podcast. You can follow me over there. I'd love to chat with you. But until next time, guys, I think that's all I got for you. So have a great rest of your week, and bye for now.